When it comes to Wall Street legends, there are few names that have quite the same mystique as W.D. Gann. You hear stories about him, part trading genius, part mystic. He claimed he had a secret method to beat the markets. So what was the deal? Was he a true pioneer or just an incredible marketer? Let's dig in and find out. To really get a handle on just how legendary this guy was, let's start with the price tag on his knowledge. So picture this. It's 1950. A brand new car would set you back maybe $2,000. But Gann, he was charging a jaw-dropping $5,000 for his master commodity course. And in today's money, that's over $47,000 for a single course. I mean, it's a figure that's almost hard to believe. And it immediately makes you ask one thing.
Right? What kind of information could possibly be worth that much? Well, in this explainer, we're going to peel back all those layers of myth and legend to get to the core of what W.D. Gann was really teaching. And you might be surprised by how practical it is.
Okay, so before we can understand the method, we have to understand the man. And to do that, we have to slice through a lot of the myths. You hear about astrology, secret cycles, all that stuff. But for right now, let's forget all that. Because Gann's legend was actually built on something incredibly simple and powerful. It all starts with his first commandment. For Gann, it was simple. Absolutely everything you needed to know was already right there on the chart. He believed that the price of any stock, any commodity, was the final, ultimate truth. It wasn't just his opinion either. This idea is pretty much the foundation of all modern technical analysis. He called it price action. You know that jagged little line moving up and down across your screen? To Gann, that wasn't just random data. It was the collective voice, the collective psychology of every single buyer and seller in the market all speaking at once. Now just let that sink in for a second. Are you worried about an upcoming earnings report? Stressed about some economic data? A crazy news headline? Gann would tell you to relax. The market already knows all of that information, all that hope, fear, and greed. It's already baked right into the price's seat. So, okay, if price is the only thing that matters, how did he actually read it? Well, he started with what he called his master tool, and it is brilliantly simple, the 50% retracement. Let's actually build it from scratch. So imagine you're looking at a totally blank canvas. This is exactly how Gann approached any market, with zero preconceived ideas. All he started with were two things, price on one axis and time on the other. First, you find any significant price move, say from a low point, we'll call A, up to a high point B. Now, what's the most important spot in that entire move? It's the halfway point. Gann had this really powerful analogy for it. He said it was like a pilot's radius of action. If you're flying from New York to London, the halfway point is your point of no return. Before that, you can still turn back. But once you cross it, you're committed. It's the same with price. If a stock retraces more than 50% of its last move, Gann believed that original trend is probably over. But, and here's where it gets really clever, he didn't just stop at 50%. He took that critical halfway point and just kept dividing. He split the range into quarters, and then into eighths. And all of a sudden, that simple price move isn't so simple anymore. It's become a detailed roadmap, showing you exactly where the price is likely to find support or hit resistance. Now, this map wasn't just some cool theoretical exercise. Oh no, it was a practical, down-to-earth guide for knowing when to buy and when to sell. So let's take a look at how he used this map to find actual trading signals. Here we have a chart of Micron technology. See this area here? The price tries to break higher once, fails. Tries again, fails. And a third time, no dice. This is a classic triple top. For Gann, this was a massive red flag that the buyers were just plain exhausted, and a big reversal was probably on its way. But the big question is, where exactly do you hit the sell button? Well, if we zoom in, Gann's rules give us a whole playbook. If you're aggressive, you could have sold right when this little rally failed. A more cautious trader, you could wait for this key low to break, and the most conservative trader would wait for even more confirmation down here. You see? Different risk levels, but all of them are defined by the price action itself. But not all his signals were that complex. Some were just beautiful in their simplicity. This little diagram shows one of his absolute favorites, buy old tops. The idea is just that a level that used to be a ceiling, a resistance point, becomes the new floor once price finally breaks through it. It's such a simple, repeatable pattern, and it's based on nothing but price history.
And this gets us to what might be the most important point of all. See, Gann gave his students a whole toolbox of signals, but he was convinced the tools were totally useless without the right mindset. And today, in a world dominated by algorithms and high-speed trading, his focus on human psychology might be his most valuable secret. And at the heart of his philosophy was this really cool paradox. On the one hand, you have to follow your trading rules with absolute mechanical discipline. No excuses, no exceptions. But at the exact same time, you have to watch the market with total flexibility. No bias, no hope, no fear. So how in the world do you do that? How do you force yourself to be completely objective? Well, Gann had this brilliant, super low-tech solution. He made his students physically print out charts, get rid of all the labels, and literally turn them upside down. And just like that, poof, your natural bias to want the market to go up or down just evaporates. An uptrend now looks like a downtrend. All you can see are the raw patterns, the pure price action.
So when you put it all together, the price action, the retracement levels, the objective analysis, it all led Gann to his ultimate concept. His magic word was vibration. He truly believed that every single market has its own unique personality, its own natural rhythm of highs and lows. His entire method was about learning how to tune in to that specific frequency. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. I mean, Gann was coming up with these ideas 100 years ago, but the core concept is completely timeless. He saw the market not as some random, chaotic machine, but as a direct reflection of human nature itself, with its own unique rhythm. So maybe the real question isn't whether Gann's specific rules from 1920 still work, but whether we can still listen and feel the market's vibration today.